or anticipating the ball to bend back.
And a much slower delivery, only 133. Good mix. Big quick ones on the leg and then slower outside off. Got him! What about that? What a spectacular delivery. They're all charged up. He didn't have an idea of what the ball was doing. Jack back, hit timber, and that's it for Shanto.
A perfect delivery and a perfect result. But Chamira,
Delivery. They're all charged
that's
up.
what he's
He
been
didn't
trying
have
to do.
an idea of what the ball was doing. Jack back,
Beat the
hit timber,
batsman with the
and that's it
pace
for
and
Shanto.
the inward movement.
Perfect delivery.
He must be proud
and a
of his
perfect
effort.
result.
Knocking top of the off stump. That's what you want from your fast bowler. And he has removed Bangladeshi premier batsman in Shanto. And he goes without scoring. In spot of order, Bangladesh 20 for 2.
A heap of trouble. Bangladesh 2 down for only 20 runs, and we're only the 4th over. Tawhid Hridoy, 34th innings for him. Lot of work to be done. 100, 850s. 2 slips in position.
Yeah, he's on fire, isn't he, Chamira? Successful over. 20 for 2.
Bangladesh in a spot of bother, to say the least, having lost 2 wickets already. Najmul Hasan Shanto, the last one to go. Spectacular delivery from Ismail Chamira. Beat him all ends up. Clipped off stump. Pails went flying. He is a man who's also got a wicket in his previous over. Got the tails up, Sri Lanka. Now they're fishing. They are very, very tentative.
Get a slip in, Captain. Get a slip in. The ball is responding to the fast bowlers. Appreciable movement on that occasion. Prodigious, I would say.
Definitely more movement available in the evening. Things getting a little cooler. Hardly saw Baskin Ahmed, Shakib getting movement like the 2 bowlers. We're talking about the slip to be brought into place, and it's a sort of 4th slip position or a 3rd slip position. Rather wide, a floater. Down the leg side once again. Not really comfortable playing that shot.
Not the right technique to deal with such deliveries. Yeah, you have to keep your balance to be able to play those deliveries. Now beaten by the pace, feet nowhere, exposing the stumps. He played that delivery out of hope. And hope can be dangerous at times.
Professor Sain has been watching his partners return to the pavilion. That scored 2 of 9. Once again, this is very consistent. This is not allowing Bangladesh to just get on top, get some runs, building up the pressure.
Yeah, you expect the ball to do something in the air when it's new, hard. But the movement has been substantial. And what a sight for a fast bowler. Ideal. Knocked back the off stump.
Look of disbelief on Shanto's face. Now, whoops, fumble, but well recovered.
Oh, he's fallen into a great rhythm, Chamira. And he's been setting up the batters quite nicely. Inward movement at the batsman playing from the crease. And it happened to both the batters. No balance, no footwork. Just hanging their bat out and to pay the ultimate price.
No runs off the bat for 15 deliveries. Now the scamper one. That's a direct hit. Now, direct hits can be very interesting. They think they've gotten their man. Have to wait and see.
He was run out in the previous match as well.
The bat is grounded before the bails are off. I'm ready to make my decision for the big screen.
That's the first run of the bat. That's the first run of the bat for tells you how much pressure and tells you how much pressure there has been from the Sri Lankan bowlers. There has been from the Sri Lankan bowlers. Just stood there for a while. Just stood there for a while. The non-striker. The call from going to the non-striker. He made it reasonably comfortable. He made it it's just passed. Lucky, just passed. So very fortunate. Lucky, so very fortunate. And the slip for 4 runs. And the slip for 4 runs. 25 for 2. 25 for 2. But the comparisons there, Bangladesh have lost 2. Bangladesh have lost 2. Last ball, last over, very fortunate. Last ball, last over, very fortunate.
It is happening for the fast bowlers, isn't it? Appreciable movement and from the right length and line. Late to react to Sal Mendes. Have to place 2 proper slips. Not a floater slip.
Spectator catch. Talking about that's a good catch for the bird. It's been fiery bowling from both ends by the Sri Lankans. In tandem. Dinner. Going to be good. Oh, inside edge. Fortune is going Bangladesh's way. You can see that smile on the face of the batter. He gets the 4 runs.
Almost another wicket for Chamira. He's on fire at the moment. He's fallen into a great rhythm. Got his mojo back in this game.
again on target. This is sensational bowling by Chamira. Last one much slower in speed, more accurate.
Was no setting up. Were very persistent. You're into birds, Shamin?
Aren't you?
Well,
this has been exceptional from the bowlers. Very, very lucky with edgy strokes. 129.6, the last one. Generating pace, slowing them down. But the accuracy, constant.
yeah, Imon is playing with the right idea now. He's looking to play the ball back to the bowler. He's anticipating everything coming in. And I think Chamira has to react. He has to take the ball away from the left-hander's off stump. That will create an opportunity for him. From outside the off, just outside the off stump.
Well, he's been consistent in his lines, and as the captain has not given him a slip, he has to bowl that pretty straight. Just looking at the left-hander's feel on the onside, there's a fine leg within 30, there's a deep backward square leg, mid-wicket and mid-on. A lot of protection for those straighter deliveries. One fielder at deep third on the offside. Backward point, cover and mid-off. In the power play, two fielders outside 30. And that is what I was talking about. No slips. Gives him the edge. Gives him 4 runs to finish the over. 33 for 2. At this point in time, pretty much even Stevens with Bangladesh and living dangerously in Kandy. We are actually at Pallekale, about 30 minutes out of Kandy. Just a lovely city with the lake in the middle and picturesque views on the way here. But nothing pretty in the middle. Bowling change. Tiksana comes in. Maybe a bit of relief in terms of pace.
Yeah, this time around took the ball away from the left-hander. Yeah, look at the captain. Why wasn't a slip in place?
Well, he's going to rue that. Bowler will feel very, very disappointed. Mahesh Tiksana has been so impressive in his career. 77 wickets only into his 55th match. Carom balls, knuckle balls, orthodox off spin, one that goes away. He's got it all. Always concerned for the batter in what's coming up, and he releases the ball.
Yeah, he's a wicket-taking option. Tiksana. He's got plenty in his repertoire. And he doesn't mind exploring his repertoire. Every variety with confidence.
That's it, Amir. You just said the right word. He bowls with confidence. And that's good from a bowler who tries the varieties. Sometimes it doesn't come off. These guys are enjoying themselves.
That's a good effort in this heat. to wear that costume.
The best way to go for Bangladesh now is just cool it. They've had edgy boundaries, they've nervous times, and it's selfie time for that guy.
Yeah, for a little while they have to absorb the pressure which has already been created. Slob out for a little while. Oh, beautiful, beautiful delivery to end the over. 35 for 2, Bangladesh.
Two early blows then. The two fast bowlers picking up the wickets to fall. Pitch is quickened up under lights. No doubt about it. The ball skidding on. Sri Lanka now have a slip in place as Chamira charges in. That should be a wide. And unlike in the previous games, I think Sri Lanka expected the ball to skid through. Because usually it's Theekshana who opens bowling along with Asitha Fernando. Chamira brought in later. But today, they went to the two quick men. That was the last ball of the last over. Movement for Asitha Fernando and extra pace of Chamira. Good evening, Farviz Maroof.
Evening, Russell. Yeah, certainly when it comes to underlights playing in Pallakele, this is what you expect on a good pitch which has a bit of grass covering on top. And that's where I thought initially good decision by Charita Lanka to bowl with the two seamers.
There you go, the fast bowlers started off with a short one. Asitha Fernando hurrying the batter all the time. And the movement is what did from one end, from the other end. Chamira's extra pace. It was really good to watch. Living dangerously are Bangladesh at the moment.
Certainly Imran is not comfortable covering the line. Staying leg side is trying to open up the offside, and I thought Charita Lanka in the previous over missed a trick by basing a field at mid-wicket, not having a slip in place. But in this occasion, he has worked it out, and there's a slip in place, there's no mid-wicket. When you're playing against players like Imran, who's not looking to cover the line, trying to open up the offside, slip is a mandatory, it's a must. Got the field right, but just that some movement has to happen off the pitch rather than in the air. It's good to see Banadu Asaranga as well after the injury in the field.
Yeah, he went off limping at the end of Sri Lanka's innings, trying to complete a two. Usually square of the wicket, that's where you have your better fielders. Asaranga hanging around mid-on.
Since Janit Trinagar is also in the side as a third seam bowling option, I'll be very tempted to even get Janit Trinagar to bowl a spell here. Ball is moving as well as skidding on. Asitha Fernando, I thought, very unlucky in the last two he bowled. Thick outside edge in the gap, went for a boundary. With the new ball, under lights, there will be movement at least till about the 15th over. Try and maximize it. Bangladeshi batters, especially Mon, is not comfortable against seam bowling, though he's opening batter for some reason. The technique can be questioned, but Tawhid Ridha on the other end, he looks very solid.
Finally gets one. He's been swinging at almost everything.
It's a width again. Trying to open up the offside, he's not trying to cover the stumps at all. They're going to get his legs, the back foot, even going away from the leg side. Pushpanda Chamira could do much better. Bowling wicket to wicket. Try and seam A crossing to the slips. Moral victory for the batter. The slip disappears to mid-wicket.
Now Imran should read the game as well. He will know, or he should know, Chamira will bowl just the 2 more balls this spell. It's always short spells around the wicket now, Chamira. Just not allow him into the game and then try and handle the spinners. Carves that. In again, the deep does well.
You're right, Russell. Dushman Chamira probably bowling his last over. I'll be very tempted to get Asita Fernando to replace Asita Dushman for a couple of overs. Carry on with Mahesh Theekshana from the media box and possibly get Danit Vinagay just here and there just to see if there's any movement or the help for the seamer. But certainly, after making a comeback in the last game, Dushman Chamira looks hungry for success. Speeds up, movement of the seam as well as in the air. Certainly, as said, going forward, yes, he's turning 33, but still, I reckon his experience is going to be crucial leading up to the 2027 World Cup.
Oh, poor delivery. Totally lost it, Chamira.
Testing out Kusal Mendis. Batting for so long, he had to dive to his left. Probably missed his action now, just could not follow through properly. Quite wavered down the leg side. It's off to those 2 gentlemen with that costume in the seat.
Gentlemen? Lions.
The Lankans are Lions, Russell.
Oh, good shot, good shot. Ends up being an expensive over. 47 for 2 after 8. .239 required after 42. Now, if you look at the required rate, it's below the run rate. So that would mean Bangladesh just needs to keep batting. Not try too hard. Here's Theekshana. Build a partnership and take it deep. That's what Bangladesh need to do at the moment. Another cracking shot.
No half measures with him on. In his arc, he loves to take the aerial route. Came round the wicket, Dushman Chamira, but still I thought was way outside the off stump and giving enough chance to Imran to free his arms.
Imran is a very interesting player, especially when it comes to spin. Areas that he likes to hit or the length that he uses. It just surprised me because when you bowl fuller, a lot of batsmen look to carve the ball around and it's easier to play it. But Imran, he's very good off a good length delivery. That's where he scores most of his runs. Plays the sweep shot. But the fuller you bowl, he tends to be very watchful. He gets down and he plays that shot really well. But when you bowl fuller, for some reason, he just gets into a tangle. Now that's a dismissal, but we saw him defend quite a bit. That's quite interesting for me. That's the ball that he should be getting a striding and thumping it down the ground.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, certainly a good spot. Usually, especially the top order batter, loves it full in the arc rather than back of the length. Certain reasons, Imon, possibly with his jerking of the arm before he strikes the balls 2 times. Maybe a reason. But overall, quite strange for opening batter.
At least a couple here, but the outfield looks like it'll give you full value. Oh, good work in the deep. 50 up for Bangladesh in the 9th over.
Dushmantha Chamira, who bowled the last over, had to spin cross from short fine leg. When it comes to commitment, 100% marks for Dushmantha. Thirdly, for me, saved a single. Pretty sure the third umpire will take a closer look. And he's totally fine. Nicely done. Ishan Madhuskar from deep mid-wicket. He sprinted across as well towards fine leg.
Well, you're probably right, Parveez. You might see, you most probably will see Asita Fernando from the far end. $51 for 2. Last over of the power play, and as of now, nothing in it. Sri Lanka will say runs on the board, always crucial. Asita Fernando changes ends.
Attack to Parvez Imon, having mid-on back, third man in the circle for Asita Fernando, just like he did in his previous spell. Continued in the first ball of this spell as well. Looks like Sri Lankan side is quite happy to bowl wicket to wicket, probably middle and leg stump. Line for the left-hander. Loves without the off stumps. That's a tactic. But I think the wicket-taking ability or wicket-taking chances bowling that line is quite minimum, unless it swings back and thudders into the front pad or clean bowl. It's more of a line and length to try and contain the batsman rather than attacking. But with the right hand in strike, Ridoy, last ball that he bowled in his last bit, took outside edge with a second slip in place. I reckon Ishan Madhuskar is at the moment is but 1.5 slip, coming closer to the wicket keeper. Trying to pitch it up, Asita Fernando, try and see if there's any movement away from the right hand or from the opposite end. Both the deliveries. It's going with the angle. No swing available now.
Four spinning options for Sri Lanka. And looking at the days leading up to the ODI, no dew. Even at 10:30 p.m. in the evening, there was hardly any dew, which would mean that the Sri Lankan spinners will be confident of taking the pace off as the evening goes on. It's not a slower one into the pitch. It's just lobbed over.
It looks like just 105.4 kilometers per hour. A particular bouncer by Asita Fernando. Keeping the batsman honest, but with the slow ball bouncer, I just thought it was a waste of it. Effort in this occasion was the off cutter into the pitch, and rightly so, called wide by the umpires.
He stands right across And Asita Fernando, well, the way he's bowling in fuller. He's very strong through the offside. That straighter delivery, probably a sitting duck with where he starts on off stump.
Yeah, surely Asita will fancy his chances, but I think rather than bowling it fuller, hit the deck on a good length, just like that, probably a little bit fuller, and try and hit the pad back of the length, rather than going fuller. Just the feel as set for the particular delivery, which is to bowl straight as possible, fuller with a long on in place, deep square leg in place. But the best chance to get him on out with this field would be back of the length, try and aim the knee of the batter. That will be my game plan if I'm the ball.
Two more deliveries in the power play, and Sri Lanka will have a little bit more of a cushion and they can spread the field a bit more. Very good from Asita Fernando. I don't think he's searching for the wicket now, like he did in his 3 overs. This is more about getting to that 10th over.
Yeah, correct. Just wanted to finish off the 10th over and possibly afterwards think of wicket-taking options. That has been the game plan ever since this month was. Now he finished his spell. Nice Dixon was brought in more of a containment mentality rather than attacking. Yeah, after 10 overs, probably a couple of overs of Johnny Finnegan just to see if there's anything, or else get well Lalage from where on in. A lot of options for Charita Sri Lanka, something we have to keep a close eyes on. What sort of attack it's going to be.
Bottom edge, bounce in front of Mendes. So that ends the power play. Bangladesh are 55 for 2.
इंग्लैंड टीम करेगी हिसाब बराबर या हमारी विमेन इन ब्लू का होगा सीरीज पर कब्जा। ये फैसला इस मैच में होगा।
Still a series on the line.
देखिए इंग्लैंड विमेन वर्सेस इंडिया विमेन 4th T20 कल रात 11 बजे से लाइव सिर्फ सोनी स्पोर्ट्स नेटवर्क और सोनी लिव पर। इंग्लैंड वर्सेस इंडिया 3rd टेस्ट 10 जुलाई 2:30 बजे से सोनी स्पोर्ट्स के टीवी चैनल्स पर।
Well, the run rate in power play 1, 55 today, and that's Bangladesh's lowest score in the series in the first 10 overs.
Coming round the wicket to Iman, Mahesh Deekshana. 4 fielders outside the circle. Was at sweeper cover, long off, long on, and deep square leg in front of square.
Goes across the stumps. Deekshana saw that.
Predominantly in the 2.2 overs, Mahesh Deekshana has bowled. Mostly has been current ball. And this occasion he goes for the right arm off spinner. Good seam position. Pace is above 100 kilometers per hour. Again, it was full. Just the level you spoke about, Russ.
And the pressure builds. The batter will look for shots that aren't there. Because he's trying to get off strike. He's trying to score runs.
Missed the full length again. Any other classical left-hand batter or a right-hand in that length, in that pace, would have creamed through extra cover. Come on. He spoke a couple of overs before Russell. Missed another half volley.
Oh, yes, boy.
5 dots. Real good from Deekshana. The ball not really gripping for him. But you're working the batter out by giving him nothing. He'll be looking up at the scoreboard. He'll be thinking about the required run rate.
Big shot coming, Maya. Come on, big shot coming.
There you go. Mendes saying, big shot coming.
Oh, yes, boy. Oh, yes.
Another dot. A maiden over. 55 for 2 after 11. A wonderful 100 from Kusal Mendis has led Sri Lanka to 85 for 7, and now that looks a long way away for Bangladesh, who lost 2 early wickets.
Pretty late for a stroke. Take a look at where the ball was trying to make contact. Almost near his eye level. Should have been ideal in front of the pads. As suspected, Dunitwa Lalge into the attack.
Just the 1 over from Asita Fernando for in his second spell. Gets Sri Lanka to the 10th over, and then the spinners come in. Maximum of 4 fielders allowed and straight away utilized. Choose the call. Ridoy is quick.
Dunitwa Lalge up at Khettarami at Premadasa in the second ODI. Dominant ball at the arm delivery. Hardly turned anything against the right-hander. Could be some effort, underlights in a good pitch, Pallakale. Get 1 or 2 to turn to create the doubt. That's something that I'm sure that he'll keep in mind to create the doubt. Try and hit the front pad of Ridoy, who usually plays the left arm spin pretty well. The game plan against him on will be quite different.
Batting wise, not a lot remaining for Bangladesh. Mehdi Hassan Miraj comes in at 5, usually very good at number 7, 8. Then Jahar Ali, Shamin Hussain Patwari. Oh, good one, came back in. That was quicker from Lalage.
Yeah, 96.2. I seen position skidding on. Ridoy trying to open up the gap between cover point and extra cover, and almost chopped it onto his own stumps. Again, drift. Good start by Lalage. Just the 2 runs from that over. 57 for 2.
There and thereabouts after 12 overs. Tikshana 3 overs, none for 6, and Hasaranga introduced very early. Last 3 overs, Bangladesh have scored only 6 runs. Now Hasaranga dismissed Imon in the previous game. Swept well. But that'll spin right round to Chamira. Do you think he's brought in to just get his overs done, protect him?
It will be interesting to see how much effort he can put in. Hamstring injuries can be almost like pricking with a needle. Looks like that's his back foot as well. Has to give him the stability. And most of the time, I reckon in this server, he's trying to skid on. Probably bowl 2-3 overs to see if there anything that possible out of this pitch. As they say, Russell, always be wary of the wounded soldier. We never know.
Well, in the last year or so, I've seen him bowl on one leg on many occasions. Injuries have not been his friend. This is what happened. That's the fastest he's ever run, I believe, and then he's gone, struggling after.
And same hamstring has been bothering him for a lot. Back foot, don't think he's trying to land it as hard as he can. He's just bowling with the upper body rather than putting it effort from the entire body. Understandably, you need to have stability while you land from the back foot. So this is where he'll be tested. But I think Charith Asalanka, the think tank, the management would like to push Wanindu Hasaranga and see 2-3 overs if he can make an impact. If not, make a call later on.
Was that last shot, was it off the bottom of the bat? Because he was trying to sweep towards square leg. Ball ended up going to mid-wicket.
All these deliveries are skidding on to the batter.
Required rate, just script over 6. He's looking to sweep everything. That's what Imon is doing against Hasaranga. Not really sure he's picking the wrong one or what Hasaranga is bowling.
Oh, yes, boy.
61 for 2. Five bowlers used. We've seen Lanka's leading spinners into the attack. Asalanka also bowls a lot more since he's been captain. And he's been very effective too, I must say. Picked up many wickets, vital wickets. So we will see him at some stage.
Left-hand, right-hand combination in the middle for Bangladesh. Spinners will probably find a little harder to adjust to. If I'm in the think tank of Bangladesh, I would love to continue with the right-hand, left-hand combination with Chakar Ali, Mehdi Hasan Miraj and Patwari. The rest of next 3 batters to come in. Left-hander gets in, I'll probably get Shamim Hussain. Or in case if the right-hander gets out next, I'll probably get the captain. Keep the left-hand, right-hand combination going, especially in the middle overs against spinners.
He goes big. Mid-wicket, gets around and takes it. Nishan Madhuskar judges that to perfection. The runs were drying up. And hence the big shot comes out.
It was coming, wasn't it? Last 30 deliveries, only 14 runs. And on the 31st, there was a wicket. Imon was quiet for a little while. He was tested with some good spin bowling. And then he was trying to break the shackles. Going with the turn, the right option. But the execution was poor. And Tawwathudo, he cannot believe what his partner has done. And a good catch at deep mid-wicket by Nishan Madhuskar. Parvez Hossain Imon gone for 28. Bangladesh 62 for 3.
It's the captain who's come out, Mehdi Hasan Miraj. Been at 5 through the series. Mehdi Hasan Miraj at 5 would tell me that the batting is a little thin. He's been very useful in the past. I'm not so sure. It's at 5. I haven't seen enough, let me tell you that. Well, Lalaga's got a wicket.
Right option, going with the turn. But the question has to be asked, was that necessary? That was possibly tempted, forced by good bowling previously to that. 5 overs, only 14 runs. And all of a sudden, the big shot comes out. Looks like, well, Lalage will continue from the far end, the 2 right-handers in. From the other end, a bit tempted to bring one of the fast bowlers. Remember last game, he was bounced out by Dushman Chamira.
Oh, he gets off the mark. 0 and 9 have been Mehdi Hasan Miraj's contributions at number 5 this series.
Just looking at the field and trying to figure out if any of the fast bowlers warming up. Doesn't look like Dushman Chamira or Asita Fernando.
Do they need to? In this heat, they've been bowling 4 over spells. 64 for 3 then Bangladesh at the end of the 14th over. .64 for 3. Sri Lanka will be pleased with their progress and extremely pleased that Vanidhu Hasaranga is on the field and is bowling. There was an element of doubt when he tried to take that run. He started limping. There were question marks as to whether it was a hamstring tear or a strain, but he seemed to have put all those doubts to rest and he's bowling here. And he's certainly so important. I mean,
well, let me tell you, he's the most dangerous once he's struggling with his fitness. When he's hurt physically. Well read on that occasion. Yeah, plenty of positives for Sri Lankan team in this match already, but for me the biggest positive is the usage of new ball. Wow, it was a treat. Both the fast bowlers, they were using the new cherry to some effect. They were swinging the ball in the air, deviation of the surface, swinging ball either side. Asked too many questions from the batters. That is a good news for Sri Lankan cricket.
just to add to that, it's always nice to see Chami running in and bowling at full steam, bowling with a bit of extra pace. Then Asita Fernando also had really cranked his pace up a few notches, because if you remember during the test matches, his pace was down, it was more control, but now he's in his familiar territory, the mid 130s to the high 130s.
Yeah, started to hold his own. No, at times when fast bowlers are playing Sri Lanka, they're not up to the job, up to the task.
Yes, boy, yes.
End of a good over, decent over, 66 for 3.
See, we spoke about the pace. Of course, the average pace gets calculated when you consider the slower deliveries also.
Yeah, to finish the point, when Sri Lankan fast bowlers are bowling in a test match, they go through the motions rather than bowling with the belief that, yes, they can create a difference. That's well fetched. From outside the off stump, gets a boundary. First boundary after 43 deliveries. Tells you the struggle of these batters.
Yeah, that's been long time waiting. Sri Lankans have looked to strangle them. That was bowled slower and bowled wider. So he fetched it from outside the off stump. It was a well executed shot.
bella, vuole bella.
Again, another one. Again, ball slower and beautifully judged and beautifully executed. Ball deliberately slower and wider of the off stump.
He's up for the job, captain. Whenever he sees a bit of flag and the ball pitched outside the off stump, he's ready to tonk the ball towards mid-wicket, the vacant area, and force the captain to place a deep mid-wicket. And that will force the bowler to start darting the ball in.
Edi has been short of runs. Now that's outside the line. This is his best score. But just let's keep an eye on Dunit Vellalage's release points. That's the delivery, the previous one. And just look at that. He's bowling it slightly lower. The previous one was higher. The other one was lower. Into the over. 74 for 3. So 74 for 3, and it's time for some breaks. .74 for 3, Bangladesh. They've lost 3 wickets and a little bit too early. The opening partnership did not prosper. Asita Fernando striking with a wicket of Tanseed. And this was wicket number 1.
Exceptional usage of the new ball. And the batsmen losing their balance, exposing the stumps. He was beaten by the pace and also inward movement. Played the wrong line. And then the spinner chipping in with the wicket. Bilal again.
I thought that that was unnecessary. He was looking to go over the top, found the fielder. But the wicket of Shanto, that was sheer pace. It went between bat and body. And Shanto was definitely done by that extra bit of pace, as you said. Came back just that little fraction back into the right-hander. Or back into the left hand, I beg your pardon. Hasaranga continues. He's got that long on out and long off out.
Yeah, Bangladeshi batters really struggled to pick Hasaranga during the first ODI. Played at Premadasa Stadium, Colombo. But now, they're giving a feel they have a hang of Hasaranga's bowling. That's nice. Nicely driven into the gap. And that's third boundary from the bat of Bangladeshi captain Mehdi Hassan.
Yeah, he's starting to mean business here. That's the wrong and little bit over pitched. And look at how he leans into it. Saw it and went through extra cover. Big gap on the offside.
Yeah, full stride in. And no holding back. Gave everything to that stroke by the Hassan Miraz.
Yeah, one thing about Hasaranga is I don't think he's 100%. You could see that he's got a slight limp. He's not moving as easily and freely as one would like him to do. Just concerned whether this spell can aggravate his situation and not allow him to play in the T20s.
He's a fighter, isn't he?
Yeah, Sri Lanka will be hoping, because that's his speciality. He does well in the 50 overs, but he's created that position for himself in the T20 format. Another single, 7 runs off the over, 81 for 3. Well, the two worms at the moment hugging each other, but if you look at the end of that Sri Lankan worm, those clusters of dots really stem that flow. Sri Lanka at one stage was looking at around 300 plus, but Bangladesh did a fabulous job in the last 10 overs, reining in again and just making sure that they had Sri Lanka at a manageable score. He's back, Chamira, bowled with good pace. 1 for 26, provides that cutting edge in pace. And he is hitting that bat hard.
And he has bowled with a lot of control. He's been consistently clocking around 142. And with that pace, to be able to land the ball consistently on a good length, it tells you that he's growing in confidence. Never easy when you're making a comeback.
Tawhid Ridoy, that's another player with immense potential for Bangladesh. Oh, well done. Very good fielding at cover. That is outstanding work. So important. Kamidu Mendes.
Fielding during the test matches was questionable, but in ODI series, it has lifted. See fielders putting much more effort. Invented quite a few things. Catching has been brilliant. Remember that Eliana Gay catch? It was stunning.
That's right. The fielding has been very sharp in the one-day series. The throwing has been doing good. Catching has been outstanding. Some stunning catches, effecting run-outs. So that has been also helpful for Sri Lanka. Working day for a weekday, it's a good crowd in Pallekele, and they're very faithful when it comes to watching cricket. They come in their numbers, enjoy their cricket. Nicely done, nicely done. Short delivery. Look at the way how he rides the bounce, hits it down and into the gap.
And he's got plenty of time, Tauheed Rudoy. Have a look. At the last moment, knew where the gap was and was able to hit the ball into the gap with control. Yeah, talking about Pallekele crowd. Not only they turn up in numbers, enjoy their cricket, but they jazz it up for the players as well.
They absolutely do. This time square, and that's for back-to-back boundaries. He's fighting fire with fire. Short deliveries, pulled through mid-wicket, short and wide, and goes through the offside.
This is the advantage as a batsman you get if you stay still. See the ball coming out of the hand of the bowler, pick up the length early, you get rewarded. You do. Have a look. He picked the ball very early and got into a very good position.
Dot to end the over. 8 runs off it. 89 for 3. Now this partnership is very important for Bangladesh. This is the partnership they need to try and create the base. Because then they got Shamim next. They got Chakra coming in. So Zakir, I must say. That's beautifully bowled. Wanidhu Hasaranga. I can tell you something that... See, we talk about the importance of the middle overs. That's from the 11th to the 40th over, and that's where Wanidhu Hasaranga generally bowls. And that's where the fielding side of Sri Lanka, they keep looking for... Oh, that time wrong foot of the keeper. Had moved a little bit too much. And he gets a boundary. That's clever batting.
Yeah, the wicketkeeper was anticipating a contact with the full face of the bat. It actually hit the splice of the bat, hence went down and went very fine. Boundaries started to flow for Bangladesh now.
Quite a few of them. In the last 18 to 20 balls, I think 6 boundaries for Bangladesh. But having said that, if the wicketkeeper stood in the right position, there was a chance, there was a possibility of that going to glove. But take nothing away from that shot of the skipper. And now Wanidhu Hasaranga on his part has slowed it down, and that was pushed through a little bit quicker. But he's looking to bowl in those high 70s, searching for turn, more guile, and looking for that drop. looking to throw it up over the eye line.
Ball in, ball in, ball in.
So a boundary and then 4 dots.
Yeah, he's realized
Ball in,
that
don't ball in, don't
lighting
ball
the
in.
ball is not working in his favor, and hence he's down. That was a top spinner to end the over. It's 94 for 3.
.192 of 31 overs. That's the requirement, which means the required rate is better than a runner ball. But Bangladesh won't worry about it too much at this stage. There is plenty of cricket left in the game. Still the 20th over in progress. It's the middle overs. It's the middle overs now. It's Miraj on strike. And let's see the length Chamira is going to bowl at him.
Well, one thing is for sure, our captain was beaten by the pace. Was there a noise? Chamira asked the wicketkeeper. Well, that's why Captain Mehdi Hassan looked sheepish.
There was a noise for sure, but oh, good one, really good one. That's a bold one. He was waiting for the short delivery, and that's gone all the way for 6. It's the first 6 of the match, and well executed with 100 up for Bangladesh.
Yeah, a couple of times he has bowled a bouncer, but no effect was created on the batters. Hridoy was able to find a boundary in the previous over. This time it was Mehdi who was able to hit first 6 of this game.
Very well executed. You would expect the short delivery because we do know that Miraj struggled a little bit. That's a good comeback. Well, there was a delivery that went past the outside edge, and we all felt that there was some sound. There was nothing at all. There was a big gap. But as far as the sound is concerned, this sounded perfect. That had a sound, and that went all the way for 6.
Well, let me tell you, the length was audible for the batter, and the sound audible for everybody.
Indeed. Went all the way for 6. Again, good running. Very good running. Dropping and running. This is good cricket. 39 of 37. The partnership is gradually gathering a little bit of momentum here. And Mehdi Hassan Miraj is the one providing it.
They are very pensive at the moment, crowd. Ever since Mehdi Hassan Miraj has come out and started to find the boundaries, the mood has changed in the Isles.
Certainly has. They've gone quiet. But wait for something to happen. They'll be in full voice. This crowd, as you said, they've been behind the Sri Lankan cricketers. Having said that, let's give full credit to the curator. It looks a very good surface, Amir. Even when Sri Lanka batted and now when Bangladesh bats, it hasn't misbehaved. The ball has been coming onto the bat quite nicely. The batters have enjoyed anything off line with pace on. Haven't really struggled too much against spin either. Another single, 8 runs in the over. At the end of 20, it's 102 for 3. Right, that's the rest of the batters. There's Shamim. Still early days for him. Zakir. And then, of course, you're down to the bowlers. So Bangladesh will need a partnership at this stage to try and build a platform that they'll try to build on. Change of bowling. Velalage bowling from the opposite end. So the skipper is just mixing it around the bowling resources. Vanidu Hasaranga just bowled 4 overs, none for 18. Velalage into his 4th.
No, as a bowler, he doesn't give you lollies, that's for sure. Velalage on the money most of the times.
Starting to enjoy the dinner. It's dinner time. Now long on comes into the circle to save 1. Long off goes out. That's a deep mid-wicket and a deep backward square leg. You hear that grunt every time Dunit Velalage bowls. Real effort, the real grunt from him. They're not just enjoying the cricket, but enjoying seeing themselves on the giant screen. However brief it may be, they're enjoying the brief moment of visibility. It's a good comeback. 3 singles only. The over. He will want to finish strong. Down the track, down to long off, taken at long off. Velalage strikes. Janit Lianage, he hasn't dropped anything in the series. He catches on again. Holds on to a catch. Bangladesh lose a big wicket, which I think was unnecessary in the context of the game. That was beautifully.
झोपड़ियों को पुलिस तोड़ने जा रही है।
हम लोगों को जमीन चाहिए।
Who played well for his 28. It's 105 for 4.
TNT Sports, powered by Canterbury.
So you want the confidence to hit that high note. Here's how.
105 for 4.
Karim Hussain is in as the troubles continue for Bangladesh. into his sixth match. It's the 55 runs, lot to work on his batting. Come in at a position of strife for Bangladesh. It's really having problems trying to build up partnerships and throwing the wickets away at the wrong time.
I understand the thinking, Shamim, but his execution was wrong. He was trying to hit it straight down the ground. Now Welalage is trying to spin it away from the right-hander. I would think inside out, more towards extra cover would have been the option. Because he's trying to hit it straight down, he slices it. And Janit Liyanage was very wide at long on. That's a big wicket, in fact. Bangladesh could not afford a mistake at that point. They were just getting that momentum again.
It's hit pretty hard, but then again, once again, the superb work in the field.
Now, why that is specialist, that's Hasaranga. He couldn't move. He's been struggling with a hamstring injury, but he throws himself. Gets it in one hand, and Ridoy has to get the dive out.
Yes, just about. And that wasn't too far either from the stumps. Excellent work and a good dive too.
Yellow card, you reckon, in football for that dive?
Well, no one near him to trip him, so no chance of a yellow card. But good work from this man.
When he's limping around, sometimes you wonder if he's actually injured because he comes up with stuff like that.
Well, the Sri Lankan fans delighted. This very assertive performance. Now, a little juggle, a little misfield allows that run to be taken.
Edge of the turf, edge of the square. It's always rough and it changes pace. But no excuses. A fielder there generally is aware of these factors and changes that can happen.
Very, very difficult period of play here for Bangladesh. Required run rate now 6.24. 4 wickets down. Ahad Ridoy has been a touch out of sorts, except for 100 recently. Before that and after that, haven't been scoring too many runs.
I thought his half century in the previous game, the second ODI, was well constructed, played against his character of taking chances.
And he was very unfortunate to be run out when he just seemed to be opening up. And you're right, against his character, showed a lot of resilience.
That's what you want, right?
Absolutely.
To be able to adjust to situations, and even today, to see a different Ridoy, not the carefree Ridoy.
Very, very watchful. Shamim Hussain needs to stay there. Should understand what is required from the Bangladeshi perspective after that little partnership that you're mentioning of 40 plus. Mehdi Hasan Miraj, who seemed to be easing into his innings, just hold out into the deep. Can play big shots, Shamim Hussain, but got to be wary. You get a good ball, you pay respect to it. Play the ball to its merit. That's the way to go at the moment.
You mentioned the required run rate, Shamim. 6.3 these days. Batsmen do back themselves, isn't it? Even a 10 come the last few overs. More often than not, they get it. But of course, you don't want it to get there. You want to have it under control. But I still feel they just need a partnership. Bangladesh need to get a partnership together till about the 35th over. Then you see what you can do from there. Another wicket here. You lose those options available to you. This is good. That's the way to do it. 109 for 4.
It's soft.
तेरे सकरिया बाजार के लिए, हमारे जिम खाने के लिए, अगर जान भी लगानी पड़ जाए तो भी तुम लड़ोगे, है ना? अपना ग्रैंड शो बस अभी शुरू होने वाला है.
Well, I think Professor Imon, the manner in which he got out trying to sweep, got out at deep mid-wicket, and Miraj was trying to go over the top. Shots that could have been avoided.
But you look at those two partnerships, 42, 43, so they've done the hard work and they're starting to capitalize. One of those partnerships needed to go on. Starts and stalling again is the big problem that Bangladesh are facing at the moment.
Yeah, and not the first time. I think that has happened in the past. It's one thing that they'll have to get out very, very quickly. The bad not continuing it to bigger numbers. And for that, you need one guy at least to have a standout performance, bat deep, let the other batters bat around him. But the bowling has been very, very impressive from all the Sri Lankan bowlers. Every time Bangladesh have just seemed to be breaking the shackles. They just managed to hold out.
Oh yes, buddy, ball it, Machang.
Impressive.
Now look at how wide Janit Lienage is at mid-off. But that's because when you try to hit a left-arm spinner down the ground, it turns a bit, it grips a bit, it goes wider than usual. That's a well-worked-out field, and Medias and Miraj played exactly into the hands of the Sri Lankans. Gone. Oh, just short. Chipped it back almost. And again, dot balls, building pressure. 110 for 4.
वन भूमि पर बिना इजाजत की बनी झोपड़ियों को पुलिस तोड़ने जा रही है.
हम लोगों को जमीन चाहिए.
Intelligence report have stated that the strike is supported by the Maoist groups.
बॉडी में से जो बुलेट हमें मिली है इस राइफल से फायर हुई है. मेरी राइफल है. गुनहगार सिर्फ मैं नहीं हूं सर. तेरी
But if you're coming in and looking at the comparison after 23 overs, you'd say pretty much even Stevens, Bangladesh with a couple of runs lead. But it needed some performance like that of Kusal Mendes to be replicated from the Bangladeshi batters. That's a good looking shot. Got him 4 runs for that effort.
Hasaranga change of ends introduced, but that was all about footwork. Shamim, look at how well he backs away quickly onto that back foot to create that space. That's what you need. That's what you want to see from this pair.
Every time he's closer, the length to the batter tend to be hurried into their shots. Whenever he's shot, gives that opportunity to adjust and play more powerful shots.
Pointed out the fact that Sri Lanka were also there and thereabouts at this stage. But this was the stage that Lanka came into the wicket. And the partnership was built on a lot of singles. Constantly rotating the strike. Constantly moving that scoreboard. Keep it ticking. Then the mistakes come from the bowlers. The opportunities come for boundaries.
They're just comparing the manner in which Sri Lanka were tied down. When the runs dried up, they've learned from the last match when they were struggling to rotate strike. Whereas, this time round when they batted, they made it seem quite easy.
Now this partnership started well. They need to maintain it. Nothing different. It's 11 off 16. You can quietly start building momentum when you start getting closer.
And they can tell themselves that, the ball's not really being vicious out of the track. Oh, now that is a better turn. Beat the bat. No response from the umpire. He's struggling. Not quite sure of the line.
Oh boy, Hasaranga. What has he done to himself? If I was the umpire, I would have missed that LBW shout. I'll tell you why. Because your eyes would go to Hasaranga and how he's hopping around. Well, they've reviewed it.
TV umpire to director. We have a player review for LBW. On-field decision is not out. I have checked the field. It's a fair delivery. Can we start with front on, please? Ball is close to the bat. Need to confirm through all tries, please. Keep rolling, keep rolling. Freeze it here. I can see there is a spike and ball next to the bat and no gap between bat and ball. Go back to on-field. Ravi, stay with your original decision. Stand by. You're on screen, please signal.
Well, all reviews are gone here. Getting a little excited. The captain followed suit. Went with the bowler and the keeper. Inside edge. Review lost.
I would have been distracted by Hasaranga.
Oh, he's coming back with a good delivery. That's the single. 117 for 4.
नमस्कार। एक अत्यंत दुखद सूचना, भारत के भूतपूर्व प्रधानमंत्री श्री राजीव गांधी जी की हत्या की गई है।
अभी तक किसी भी आदमी या ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ने सामने आके रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी नहीं ली।
वायर्स के एंड में क्लॉथ फाइबर मिला, सुसाइड बॉम्बर, और एक आदमी था सर जो इनके साथ खड़ा था।
हम इसे केनेडी असैसिनेशन की तरह नहीं बनने देंगे।
Every second is important.
Suspects in sight.
Bangladesh showed signs of trying to get control to reach that 286, but it's been a regular fall of wickets that have pegged them back. Hasn't been easy. The bowling has been tight and accurate. But as I was telling you, Russ, a short while earlier, no real gremlins in the pitch per se, so they can trust the wicket.
Oh, certainly not. Only quality bowlers will get something out of this pitch. If it's a part-timer getting something, then you have things to worry about. But here, it is in the batter's favor, you'd have to say. It's just that the runs and the pressure is what makes you make mistakes as a batsman.
And that's what you've got to keep on telling yourself as you go and get the runs, maybe in singles and twos. Do not try anything out of the ordinary. There will be opportunities for you as a batter.
Ridoy not happy at all. Shamim apologizing. Stay calm. Bangladesh need to. Thought there was an easy single which Shamim did not respond to.
Well, did it get a bit of bottom edge to that? It bounced away. Couple of balls back. Have a look at what happened. He was ready for the run. And, well, both of them seemed to be ready. And then suddenly, the misunderstanding. Eventually, well, might as well take it.
Is it common among Shamims?
No. Not with all Shamims.
You were a good runner between the wickets.
I just avoid running.
Oh, you don't run at all, so no confusion.
No confusion. 121 for 4.
मौजूद अक्तो भावाशु 14 साल के बाद आजाद होकर घर आया।
आज भी था, लेकिन हमारे गैंग में नहीं था। सिर्फ गैंग का जोकर था।
तुम्हें गुस्सा नहीं आया?
मैच में देखो स्ट्रांग बनाने के लिए करता था ना, बोलता था ना हमेशा मैच से फियर, नो नीड टू फियर।
आशु जितना मासूम है उतना खतरनाक भी है।
मैं जेल में था तब वो वापस कॉलेज ज्वाइन किया।
वापस मतलब?
असल में राक्षस है वो, सबके लिए खोपड़ी।
Well, the worms have been in close proximity of each other, but the feel of the game tells you that Sri Lanka have a reasonably good control over the proceedings at this moment. It's going to be quite a difficult task for Bangladesh to go and cross that 286. It's going to take a monumental effort from these two in particular. They are very capable. Just a question of being patient.
Well, what a good time for a new hero to pop up. Ridoy, we know what he can do. It's about him really asserting his dominance, his place as the number 4 for Bangladesh. And then Shamim in his 6th game, 6th innings, a high score of 22. Here we go. Time for a new hero, probably.
You've said it, Russ, and you never know. When the opportunity arises, they say grab it with both hands. This might be one for Shamim Hussain Patwari.
In 4 dots, Shamim. It's always when those dots build that loose shot has come out. Your ability to keep milking the bowlers will be the difference.
Now that's an opportunity to at least get one run. Just going back to the point you made about the manner in which Ridoy played in the last ODI, it's continued in the same vein. If he just takes it easy and just bides his time, do not get flustered by a collection of dot balls or a single here and there. Don't be forced into shots of indiscretion. Toe into it, doesn't get a run. 26 done, 122 for 4.
सोनी स्पोर्ट्स के टीवी चैनल्स पर हमारी नई टीम इंडिया।
तूने किए क्या क्या जुल्म, तुझको भी ना छोड़ेंगे हम कसम।
कसम से इस बार ग्राउंड उनका होगा लेकिन जीत हमारी होगी।
इंग्लैंड वर्सेस इंडिया थर्ड टेस्ट 10 जुलाई दोपहर 2:30 बजे से सोनी स्पोर्ट्स के टीवी चैनल्स पर।
Just a little dip for the green worm. A dip they want to avoid too sharply. They want to keep there or thereabouts with the blue worm.
Yeah, the reason for the dip, those heavy green balls that you find here and there.
And they've occurred on a regular basis. The wickets falling. This is nice. You just ease into your first run, the understanding there. Get your feet moving every time you're running well between the wickets and talking to your partner. That gives you some confidence.
Now here's the difference with Wellalage, a wrist spinner or finger spinner is easier to pick. So the batter is a lot more confident in using his feet, but Hasaranga more guile because of his wrist spin, the wrong end. Batter is not picking it, Shamim. That's why they're reluctant to leave the crease. That's why they're not maneuvering or trying to maneuver him too much. They're waiting for that short one. That's the difference of the bowlers and what you see coming at you.
What you're saying is as you can read it out of the fingers of Wellalage, even with my Thiksana, I think they were very confused at what was coming up. So you've got two guys who can really confuse the batters, Hasaranga and Thiksana. The option to take on anybody, if you want to take on, would be Wellalage.
Yeah, correct. But that's what they tried. And Wellalage picked up 2 wickets. Imon at deep mid wicket and The captain Miraj caught at long off just a while ago, trying to do exactly that. Execution needed to be better. The thought process probably right.
Yeah, absolutely right. And that's the way to go. One end, your main spinners just tie up the batters. You fancy your chances against a somewhat weaker bowler you feel is a weaker bowler, and you just give away your wicket. Oh, no, that was a good delivery. And for the drive, and that is overdone. 124 for 4.
It's when you go, that's when people will realize how big a player he was. I feel sad that he's gone, the way he's gone, I think it could have been handled better, or there should have been more communication. If I had anything to do with it, I would have made him captain straight away after Australia.
Standout performance from Kusal Mendes. Really took to the bowling, enjoyed himself with 124 off 114. Sri Lanka and him, when they were going, Sri Lanka were looking to go over even the 300 mark. Pulled it back somewhat, but Bangladesh in a difficult position now. Chance of a stumping here.
Did he leave his ground? We will go upstairs though.
TV umpire to director. We have an umpire review for stumping. I have checked the feed. It's a fair delivery. Can you show me the side on angle, please? The ball is collected behind the stumps. Roll it back one more time, please. Can you show me with the split screen from the front on? I need to see whether the ball was in the hand or not. And the stumps are broken with the ball. Okay. Yeah, I need the split screen just to confirm it. I can't see the ball from here. Do you have anything else to show? Yeah. I can't see the ball from this side because show me the previous one again. Show me the previous one and roll it frame by frame, frame by frame, frame by frame. Yeah, one more frame, one more. Yeah, ball is in the hand, in between the two palms, and the stump is broken. But now show me the side on. I need to check where the foot is. Yes, keep rolling. Yes, I'm satisfied. I'm ready to make my decision for the big screen.
Took a bit of time, but the decision has been made. Drew him out of the crease and just checking whether it was cleanly done. It has. 12 for Shamim Hussain, Bangladesh in more trouble. 124 for 5.
वन भूमि पर बिना इजाजत की बनी झोपड़ियों को पुलिस तोड़ने जा रही है।
हम लोगों को जमीन चाहिए।
Intelligence report have stated that the strike is supported by the Maoist groups.
गुनहगार सिर्फ मैं नहीं हूं सर।
भारत के भूतपूर्व प्रधानमंत्री श्री राजीव गांधी जी की हत्या की गई है।
ये एक एक्स्ट्रॉर्डिनरी असाइनमेंट है। महात्मा गांधी और इंदिरा गांधी के असैसिनेशन जैसे दिखता है लेकिन है नहीं।
खजाना हाथ लगाया सर। मैंने बॉम्बर आइडेंटिफाई कर लिया।
Suspects in sight.
Zakir Ali comes in. Leg gully in position for him.
Wanindu Hasaranga picking up wickets on one leg. That's unbelievable. Zakir Ali, he can hit a ball. Got a very good average. Now Bangladesh would so dearly need him to stick with Ridoy. I mentioned the fact that they're not picking Hasaranga because this was just lobbed up one step and he could have creamed it. But he's totally lost. He's playing for the leg break. Geez, that stumping was striked. Not this we're talking about, whether the ball was in his hand for a moment. Pick it again. It looked like the glove took the bail off, but then the ball is still touching that particular glove. Umpire needed to make sure that it was in control. And that little kid has made the trip from Colombo. Remember him in the test matches and the ODIs?
Yeah, he's livened it up and they're lively in the middle. Why not? When the Hasaranga has really spun a web around the Bangladeshi batters, hardly giving them the opportunity to read his googlies in particular.
I've told you many times, Shamim, Hasaranga seems to bowl better on one leg.
Just about manages to keep it out. It's 124 for 5.
सारा देश आज शोक मना रहा है। राजीव गांधी के हत्यारे अभी पकड़े नहीं गए हैं।
फौरन एक स्पेशल टीम तैयार करो और इस टीम को किसी भी तरह के दबाव से दूर रखो।
मैंने बॉम्बर आइडेंटिफाई कर लिया।
Severasa.
He is practically a ghost.
Now that we know of him, इसके फोटोज को बाहर निकालो, फिर देखते हैं कहाँ भागता है एक ghost.
One man's hero is another man's terrorist.
Heroes don't terrorize anyone.
The Hunt, the Rajiv Gandhi assassination case, streaming now on Sony Live.
32. It's not beyond them, but the problem here is that they've lost 5 wickets. They just got Ridoy, who's looked good, Zakir Ali just in. So plenty of repair work to be done. And I'm afraid it looks a little bit of a tough climb for them. Down the wicket he comes. This is a really good shot. Talk about being aggressive, talk about being positive. It was everything was embedded in that shot.
A good hit. Got to the pit of the ball, went with the turn, almost to the grass banks. An 86-meter hit and a boundary after 30 deliveries. Certainly the spinners in the middle overs for Sri Lanka keeping things in check for the Bangladeshi batters. And Tawhid Ridoy, in the last game, is uncharacteristic when it comes to his natural game. He's changed totally, making sure he's taking the responsibility.
Needs to do that, but the problem is that he doesn't seem to be having support at the other end. Lovely use of the feet, brilliant execution, went all the way. Went for 6.
Oh yes, boy.
Zakir Ali is now just in his 6 deliveries, hasn't got off the mark as yet.
One big difference I see in Vellalage from the last game, Nishan, has been the speed which he bowls. Last game he was pushing it through. This game is normally just bowling it slightly slower, and I think that has been the best part about Vellalage. The 12th man in the field.
Beautiful specimen, isn't it? Beautiful specimen. Last ball of the over. 2 is the call. 2 is the call. They should get 2 quite easily. They get 10 off the over. 134 for 5.
यूरिया बाजार के लिए, हमारे जिम खाने के लिए। अगर जान भी लगानी पड़ जाए तो भी तुम लड़ोगे, है ना? अपना ग्रैंड शो बस अभी शुरू होने वाला है।
If you really look at runs versus balls, it's very gettable. 152 of 126, and asking for a little over 7 runs and over in the modern game is not frightening at all for a batting side. But it's about making sure that you have wickets in hand. Here is Kamidu Mendis with his left arm spin. The ambidextrous swept. Doesn't get hold of it. He was looking to go fine. Just looking to play it fine.
5 wickets in his career so far for Kamidu. One of them was Tawit Ridoy in the first game. But certainly when it comes to the matchup, the Sri Lankan skipper will be hoping for the second time in this series. He can do the job against Tawit Ridoy. But the difference, I think the last game was batted really well, scored a half century. Even now, 42 of 64, well set, playing the ball on its merit, not taking any risks. As you said, required rate at 7.31. Problem is, after this wicket, not much budging to go. Tanzima-san, Shakib, yes, he can play the long ball. Apart from him, the others, not much promising.
Well, he can be very useful, Kamidu Mendis, with his ambidextrous spin bowling. Tends to bowl a lot of left arm spin when the right hand is on strike. That stayed a little bit. If you saw that, if you look at that shot, didn't arrive. He had to delay. There was a little bit of, I thought, a bit of bounce as well that time when he played it off the back foot.
And a bit of grip in the last delivery. There was a call by Tawit Ridoy for a one Jaka Rally, who had the best view since the ball was going behind the wicket keeper, some of the non-strikers in. He wasn't willing to run. Important that Kamidu Mendis contributes with the ball. Just missed out in this series. With the bat, it's not much promising when it comes to his average. On the left side, Vimala Sirik rightly so called it a wide. Kamidu just inquiring whether the ball is close to the stumps, and also Tawit Ridoy walked outside the off stump, which I thought he did not.
The last ball of the over. Manitu Hasaranga just going a bit of a breather there. Oh, that's a poor delivery, really bad delivery. But he's got a fielder on the boundary. He concedes 3 runs with 20 overs to go. Bangladesh 137 for 5.
वन भूमि पर बिना इजाजत की बनी झोपड़ियों को पुलिस तोड़ने जा रही है।
हम लोगों को जमीन चाहिए।
Intelligence report have stated that the strike is supported by the Maoist groups.
बॉडी में से जो बुलेट हमें मिली है इस राइफल से फायर हुई है। मेरी राइफल है। गुनहगार सिर्फ मैं नहीं हूं सर।
Well, the green worm seemed to be taking a slight dip at this stage. Well, he's enjoying himself, isn't he? He's having a good time.
Graduate from your School of Academy.
A postgraduate.
Dancing academy.
A postgraduate.
You seem to have done well, Roshan. Another graduate. He's on world on his own. Very good spell by Stakeshner with the new ball. Came around the 7th over, put the brakes on the run rate, 3 overs for 6 runs. But the game, his role changes now. Has to become an attacking bowler. Try and get a wicket. He has the repertoires, he has the variation to pick up wicket. I just like to see Stakeshner trying a couple of things. I haven't not seen him bowl the googly yet. Maybe a good option against Jakarali.
Well, he's just got a solitary wicket in the series, and that's because, as you said, there are certain roles that Mahesh Stakeshner plays.
Yeah, off spin, that's something that we've seen for a very long time. Googly, which he has developed the last year or so, very consistently bowls, but not in this series for my liking. Carom ball, his go-to ball, his stock ball. Whenever he's in doubt, whenever he wants to keep things in control, keep things in check, most of the time you'll see him flicking the ball like a carom delivery. That's a trademark. The back spinner, slightly round armish, and almost similar. Subtle difference, just to make sure the batsman does not pick it. I'd like to see him bowl more googlies. Try and attack. Probably not to Tawhid Hridoy, was batted for a long time, looking settled, picks the variations pretty quickly. But against Zakir Ali, the new batter, against the tail enders, I feel Bias Dixon should try, and he has that confidence.
Amazing, isn't it? The variations, the variety that he carries. To me, simply the toughest ball is the carom ball that he flicks. So why I say it's tough is you need really strong fingers to do what he does.
She's checking the variations. The one with the blue phone case. There you go, that's you. Yes, Mrs. Tikshana. Looking at all the variations, she's keeping a note. And probably will get a bit of an advice tonight itself. 142 for 5.
नमस्कार। एक अत्यंत दुखद सूचना, भारत के भूतपूर्व प्रधानमंत्री श्री राजीव गांधी जी की हत्या की गई है।
अभी तक किसी भी आदमी या ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ने सामने आके रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी नहीं ली।
वायर्स के एंड में क्लॉथ फाइबर मिला, सुसाइड बॉम्बर, और एक आदमी
starts with an engineer providing access to thousands of Shell EV chargers, helping supply more than 20% of the UK's gas, getting it from here to here, investing in people and communities to build skills for the energy transition. Shell is helping power the UK now and into the future.
Now that rate is 7.5 runs, 7.58 to be precise. 144 for 114. Hamidu Mendes continues. Oh, that was uppish. And fielded in the deep. Just a little bit uppish that time. Hridoy on 48, inching close towards a half century. For a moment, Hamidu Mendes thought he had his man.
Valiant attempt by the captain. Hamidu Mendes got to be fuller. It's about the third time in his spell into 7 deliveries he has bowled. It's been shorter. Try and get the batsman to the front foot. That's better. That's almost the exact delivery. Went through the gap and hit the stumps in the first game. Just bowl there and ask the batter if he wants to take any risks, take for it.
Yeah, you're right. He needs to be getting him to play on the front foot most of the time. Again, short and wide. And that should be his half century. His 9th half century in his career. And his 2nd consecutive half century against Sri Lanka. Earns the applause from the head coach, Phil Simmons. It was a very fine innings by Tawhid Hridoy.
Against his character. Usually attacking, likes to be aggressive. The last couple of games, he has played the conditions well, the situations well, taking the responsibility as a new number 4. The likes of Mushikur Rahim, Mahmudullah Riyad, who has done that job for a long time. For the Bangladeshi side, looks like it's going to be Tawhid Hridoy taking that responsibility at number 4, try and bat through the innings.
I think he certainly has the capacity and capability, no doubt about it. Temperament too. He's held his innings, held this little period quite well. Oh, off the edge. Very, very lucky. Manidu Hasaranga is not going to run after it. Janit Lianage does well, does brilliantly well. Great piece of work by the fielder. The batters have just run 2, which is very
Just there. Probably is a touch. It's very hard to say from this angle. Need to look at the pointing.
সো জাকির আলী অনেক তার প্রথম 4-13 বলে 10টি রানে, লাস্ট ওভারে 11টি রান ছিল, একটা 4, 2টা 3টা ট্রিপল, একটা সিঙ্গেল। বলে 29 রানের পার্টনারশিপ, এই পার্টনারশিপটাই আমাদের জয় পরাজয়ের হিসাবটা দেখাতে পারে। এবং
Correctly so. We all thought and suspected that will be a boundary.
করতে পারিনি, আন্তরিকভাবে দুঃখিত। আশরাফ ইজ দা নামে একজন যুক্ত আছেন, শেষ সিরিজ লেখে শাহ আলম ভাই বাংলাদেশ জিতবে, রিফাত ভাই এই ওয়েবসাইটে লাইভ খেলা দেখা যায়, হয়তো কোন ওয়েবসাইটে ভাই করতে পারিনি, আন্তরিকভাবে দুঃখিত। আশরাফ ইজ দা অনেকে এসে এখানে লাইভ খেলার কথা বলে লিংক দেয়, আমার শাহ আলম ভাই বাংলাদেশ জিতবে, রিফাত ভাই এই ওয়েবসাইটে লাইভ খেলা দেখা যাবে, কোন ওয়েবসাইটে ভাই? এখানেও দেখতে পাচ্ছেন অনেকে এসে এখানে লাইভ খেলার কথা বলে, লিংক দেয়, আমার এখানে দেখুন অমুক তমুক। আসলে আপনাদেরকে একটু জানিয়ে রাখি, মূলত আমাদের এটা কমেন্ট্রি, এবং যারা আমাদের দর্শক আমাদেরকে শোনেন, সো তারা জানেন এটা কমেন্ট্রি খেলা, লাইভ খেলা দেখার জন্য তারা এখানে যুক্ত হয় না, তারা আসলে শোনার জন্য যুক্ত হয়, কাজের ফাঁকে ফাঁকে শোনে, তো যার কারণে আপনি যতই তাদেরকে লাইভ খেলা দেখার আমন্ত্রণ জানান না কেন বা কোনো লোভনীয় প্রস্তাব দেন না কেন, মেবি তারা সেখানে যুক্ত হবে না। মাহফুজ মোফারজল ভাই, আরে ভাই 6 লিখে, হাবিবুর ভাই না লিখে, প্রসেনজিৎ ভাই এরা কার আরে ভাই লিখে, মাধব ভাই পারবে না লিখে, একেএস টিভি যুক্ত আছেন, নতুন করে ব্যাটিং করতে দিলেও পারবে না সেটি জানাচ্ছেন। রোহিত মোটিভেশন যুক্ত আছেন, ওয়ানডে খেলা বাংলাদেশের জন্য না সৌরভ ভাই, ওয়ানডে খেলায় বাংলাদেশ ভালো জায়গায় ছিল, একটু নতুন করে যাচ্ছে তো সময়টা, আর অন্য ফরম্যাটগুলোতে ব্যর্থতার ছাপটা বা মানসিকভাবে পিছিয়ে, সেই জায়গা থেকে বাংলাদেশ খারাপ করেছে। 23 বিশ্বকাপের কথা মনে আছে, 23 বিশ্বকাপে মাঠের পারফরমেন্স নিয়ে অনেকের সমালোচনা আছে, কিন্তু সবচেয়ে বাজে জায়গাটা তৈরি হয়েছিল সমালোচনা কিংবা তাদেরকে আসলে অ্যাটাক করার ক্ষেত্রে। এটা যতটা দায় নিতে হবে ক্রিকেটারদের পারফরমেন্স, তার চেয়ে আমার কাছে মনে হয় ব্যক্তিগতভাবে 60% 70% দায় নিতে হবে সাংবাদিক থেকে শুরু করে দর্শকদেরকে। আমরাও মানছি কি কারণে এই সমালোচনাটা তৈরি হয়েছে, এবং সেটা তৈরি হওয়া অযৌক্তিক কিছুই না, কিন্তু সমালোচনাটা আমরা বিশ্বকাপের পরও করতে পারতাম, পরও তাদেরকে আইনের আওতায় নিয়ে আসতে পারতাম। যদি এই কারণেই একজনের কারণে আরেকজন না খেলতে পারে, তাকে আইনের আওতায় নিয়ে আসা যেত, কিংবা এখন তিনি দেশ ছাড়া, সেই ঘটনাগুলো পরেও ঘটানো যেত। কিন্তু খেলার সময় যে ধরনের মানসিক প্রেশার ছিল ওদের, সেইটা হতশ্রী বাংলাদেশ করে দিয়েছিল, যে ওয়ানডে ফরম্যাটে আমরা বেস্ট একটা শেপে ছিলাম। এবং এখানেও একই অবস্থা দাঁড়াচ্ছে তাদের, কেননা 3টা ফরম্যাটের মধ্যে 2টা ফরম্যাটেই খারাপ অবস্থানে আছে, এবং একটা ফরম্যাট ভালো করেন, সেই জায়গা থেকে অন্য ফরম্যাটে চাপগুলো এই ফরম্যাটে ফেস করতে হচ্ছে তাদেরকে। যাই হোক, এই মতো তানজিম সাকিব এবং তার উদ্দেশ্যে যাবেন চামিরা এগিয়ে। ওভারের 3য় বল ডিফেন্স করবেন চামিরা। মূলত এই ড্রিঙ্কস ব্রেকের আগে একটা ওভার করা দরকার ফাস্ট বোলারদের, সেটা করতেই এসেছিল, কিন্তু আগে ভাগে ড্রিঙ্কস ব্রেকটা তাহিদ হৃদয় দিয়েই দিল, কেননা বোল্ড আউট হয়ে গিয়েছিলেন তিনি। 105 বলে এখন 132-এর ইকুয়েশন, অনেক জটিল ইকুয়েশন। তবে এই মুহূর্তে জাকের আলী অনেক, তিনি কতটুকু ভরসা হতে পারবে সেটি দেখার অপেক্ষা। দলের টপ পারফর্মার যিনি ব্যাট হাতে ছিল হৃদয়, তিনি থেমে গেছে 51 রানে 78 বল ফেস করে। লঙ্কান দর্শক গ্যালারিতে বেশ হ্যাপি, তারা জয় সেলিব্রেশন করছে এখন থেকেই, কেননা লম্বা ডিফারেন্স তৈরি হয়েছে। 6 উইকেট হারিয়ে যাচ্ছেন এগিয়ে। আবারও দুষ্মন্তা চামিরা লেগ সাইডে ঠেলে দিয়ে দৌড়টা দিয়েছেন, 1টি রান পেয়ে যাবেন। চারটা বল, 2টা সিঙ্গেল, 2টা ডটে 1টি উইকেট। আবারও প্রস্তুত পঞ্চম বলটি হাতে। বেশ হ্যাপি মুডে, চিল মুডে টিম শ্রীলঙ্কার ম্যানেজমেন্ট। আবারও যাচ্ছেন এগিয়ে চামিরা, তবে থামতেও হচ্ছে আবারও তাকে। ফাইনালি আবারও ইউটার্ন দিয়ে বল হাতে রান আপটা করেছেন। ব্যাটিং প্রান্তে তানজিদ হাসান তামিম, 1টি বল 1টি রান করা ব্যাটসম্যান। এবারও ডট বল হবে, রানের সুযোগ নেই। এটু ডিফেন্স ছেড়ে খেলেছেন বাউন্সি বলটি কিপারের কাছে, যেটা ডট বলে পরিণত হয়েছে ওভারের 5ম বলটি। আমাদের বেস্ট ফরম্যাট, সেখান থেকেও আমরা হারিয়ে যাচ্ছি, দিনকে দিন পিছিয়ে যাচ্ছি ওয়ানডে ফরম্যাটে। 5টা বল, 1টা উইকেট, 2টা সিঙ্গেল আছে। শেষ বলটি হাতে, আবারও প্রস্তুত দুষ্মন্তা চামিরা, যাচ্ছেন এগিয়ে তার 7ম ওভারের শেষ বলটি হাতে। তানজিদ হাসান তামিম 2 বলে যিনি 1টি রান পেয়েছেন তারই উদ্দেশ্যে, এবং এবারও ডট বল। এটিও ডিফেন্স করেছেন, যেটা শর্ট এবং মিস ফিল্ডিং, রান পাবেন এখানে। তবে রান কি নেবেন এরা? 2টা রান হওয়ার কথা ছিল এখানে, 2টা রানে নিয়েছেন। ডিপ এক্সট্রা কাভারে চলে গেছে বলটি, এবং ফিল্ডার ছিল ডিপ কাভারে, শর্ট কাভারের ফিল্ডার তো মিসেই করলো। সো বলের গতি একটু কম হওয়ার কারণে বাউন্ডারি হয়নি, তবে 2টা রান পেয়ে গেছে।
Right on the money. Trying to hit the badge, not the ideal way to leave or duck the bouncer. But in the end, he did well. That was quick, 130 to 2.8, but the height was zipping through.
Oh, not good fielding. That's a rare miss. Allows the batters to come back for 2. Still 4 runs and a wicket, 157 for 6.
স্টুডেন্ট চার্মিচে 12 ঘন্টা জীবাণুদের সাথে লড়াই করে দিবে ক্যাবিনেট থেকে সর্বাধিক সুরক্ষা।
সব সময় চকলেট চকলেট চকলেট, মা সব দাদু শুনলে শুনতে পেপসোডেন্ট করবে, তাই না?
মামা, বিকাশে বিল দেখাও যায়, দেওয়াও যায়। এইখানে অ্যাকাউন্ট নাম্বার দিলে দেখতে পারবেন মাসের বিদ্যুৎ বিল। কি আশ্চর্য! বিকাশে বিল জমা দিয়ে পেলাম ডিজিটাল রিসিট, বিল পরিশোধের প্রমাণ।
বিকাশে দেখুন বিল আসলো কত, জমাও দিন সময় মতো।
মেরিল প্রথমবারের মতো নিয়ে এলো ভিটামিন সি সোপ বার, এটি ত্বককে সুরক্ষিত রাখে, ফিরিয়ে আনে ন্যাচারাল গ্লো।
এলো নতুন সার্ফ এক্সেল, টার্বোক্লিন টেকনোলজি যুক্ত, যা 100 কঠিন দাগ দূর করে এক ধোয়াতে। এখন নতুন মোড়কে
very gettable, but you need wickets in hand. That's the commodity that Bangladesh doesn't have at the moment. And you spoke about you spoke about the different releases of Mahesh Deekshana, the carom ball, the backspin. See, the amazing thing, Maha, is the carom ball, how he flicks the ball. Because, see, the fingers have to be very strong to do that. That's one. I think that's the wrong one. And the second thing is to be able to flick it regularly and accurately to a certain spot. It needs so much of practice. I used to remember when Ajanta Mendis used to do that. I mean, it was just amazing to watch what he did, and now Mahesh Deekshana is doing it. Not an easy art. It's a very tough art. That's again the wrong one, but it is perfected.
Good to see last two deliveries, variation coming out. The first one was a googly, it was short though. Even the last delivery was a googly, was much more quicker. The length was a little too fuller. Now he's trying to bowl to pick up wickets. Much better. 6 wickets down, go for the kill. He's into his fifth over, given away absolutely nothing, just 12 runs. Need to have confidence about yourself to be a spinner like Mahesh Deekshana, who loves to bowl with the new ball. That's quite rare for a spinner, for a winged spinner. But he loves the new ball simply because the ball skids on, and sometimes with the carom delivery, he just holds on its line, and that's where he gets most of his wickets.
They talk about bowling in different phases of the game, whether it is T20 or 50 over cricket. He's able to bowl in different phases. T20, he opens the bowling, also bowls at the depth. You spoke about changing roles and bowling in the middle for wickets. So it's how you adapt and how you make that adjustment.
On that note, I think that's where Will Lalage was very impressive. I was quite critical about him bowling too quick in the last game. In this game, he's got it spot on. Slightly slower, and most of the deliveries was playing in the front foot. That's good to see from a young man, learnt it quick. Probably a bit nervous making a comeback in the last game. Did not play the first ODI, but in this game, he was fantastic. 159 for 6.
লালচা দাও তো। আরে এর থেকে বড় সারপ্রাইজ গ্রামীণফোন 17 এ 5টা প্লেনের টিকিট সহ এক্সক্লুসিভ শো অফার।
কাপড় ধোয়ার একটাই সলিউশন, চাকা অল ইন ওয়ান।
নতুন ক্লোজ আপ তোমাকে দেয় 6 গুণ বেশি ফ্রেশনেস। এখন ট্রিপল ফ্রেশ ফর্মুলার সাথে মুখের কোনায় কোনায় পরিষ্কার করে, জীবাণু থেকে সুরক্ষা দেয়, 12 ঘন্টা পর্যন্ত সতেজ নিঃশ্বাস।
Economy of 3.71. Shamira and Asita Fernando has gone for a few, but they've got given wickets to the team. So they got a different role, bowling on the top and bowling for wickets. Shamira continues. On the pads that time.
Just on a word on Wanidhu Hasaranga, did mention about before he started bowling that beware or be wary of a wounded soldier. 7 overs, 1 for 26, though he hasn't impacted much when it comes to the wicket column, but the mentality and the fight and the commitment when it comes to Wanidhu Hasaranga, showing that commitment did uplift the side. That's a lot to like about the Sri Lankan side when it comes to commitment. It niggle, trying to give everything what they have.
He's a very busy cricketer, isn't he? Dr. Ali always looking for runs. That time pace off. Looks to just push and nudge. Also a powerful striker. Lost up in that last game when he got those runs, when he was looking to go after the Sri Lankan bowling. Went after the bowling in that game when he got that half century.
Hit the mighty sixer, didn't he? Loves the cover corner towards long on, towards mid wicket. Slowly but surely the required rate is at 8.04, so he has to somehow target 1 or 2 deliveries.
Dushman Chamira, he's been very impressive. Into his 8th over, his economy is a little bit high, but doesn't matter. He's there for wickets, and that's exactly what he's done.
Has clearly picking up wickets with the new ball. Got the ball to swing as well as seam. And done by a beauty. Shanto. A couple of times Imon was very lucky trying to play on the outside edge. No slip in place. And a good evening bounces Tanzila San Shakib and it's not up. So get rid of Tawwid Ridoy. Trying to play on the up. The length was full and 137 kilometers per hour. Close to a wide. Yep, a signal from the leg umpire. I mean, the Vimasiri, that was too high. Question by the field at cow point. I think that's Charita Lanka. I thought, watching it live, Rasham, that was a good call.
Always the umpires pay a lot of attention. I'm just wondering whether we have put them to sleep, Maha. They certainly seem to be dozing off at a time when the rest of the crowd are quite keen and watching Sri Lanka going forward. Oh, edge, and that's straightforward. That is a very straightforward catch, but this is good bowling by Dushmanta Chamira. That's 146, that delivery. So he's working up his pace, he's got his radar, and he's got a wicket.
Good length again. I'd like all of you all to take a look where Kusal Mendis collects it. 35th over. Take a look at that, zipping through the wicketkeeper. That's raw pace from Dushmanta Chamira. 146.3, too good for Tanzima San Shakib, who made a very good contribution in the last game. He's dismissed. Hot Mendis bowled Chamira for 5. Bangladesh 162 for 7.
ভিটামিন সি আর গ্লিসারিনের সাথে নতুন লাক্স যা ত্বককে করে কোমল আর দেয় ব্রাইট গ্লো। ট্রাই করো লাক্স।
পেপসোডেন্ট চার্মি চেক 12 ঘন্টা জীবাণুদের সাথে লড়াই করে দিবে ক্যাবিন থেকে সর্বাধিক সুরক্ষা।
সবসময় চকলেট 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 মা শব্দটা শুনলে শুনতে পেপসোডেন্ট করবে তাই না?
ওয়াও, সুগন্ধ তো ভালো। নতুন সাবান?
হ্যাঁ, নতুন লাইফ বয় এখন আরো ভালো সুগন্ধ আর দেয় জীবাণু থেকে সুরক্ষা।
এখনো তো ঝিরঝির করতেছে।
ঝামেলা শুনে আমার লাইনের না, বাইরের সহজ সরল মানুষ ভাইয়া জিনজিরা টিভি ধরায় দিতে হবে।
দেশের যে কোনো প্রান্তে ঝকঝকে ছবি আর ক্রিস্টাল ক্লিয়ার সাউন্ডের বেস্ট এক্সপিরিয়েন্স পাবেন একমাত্র আকাশ ডিজিটাল টিভিতে।
162 for 7. A man at square leg or short square leg, no slip. But a man at 45, strike rate of 56, average under 10. Chamira it is.